Isaiah 40, verses 1 through 2. Comfort, yes, comfort my people, says your God. Speak comfort to Jerusalem and cry out to her that her warfare has ended, that her iniquity is pardoned. For she has received from the Lord's hand double for all her sins. In this verse, God is speaking to Isaiah, and he tells Isaiah to comfort his people. And it's so important to him that he tells them twice. So he says, comfort, yes, comfort my people. And he told them twice, not because Isaiah didn't want to comfort his people. Isaiah did want to comfort his people. But sometimes when people are hurting and they feel like there's no hope, sometimes they don't want to be comforted. And so you have to repeat things over and over until finally it soaks down into their soul. And I think that was the case in this verse here. You know, God's will wants people to be comforted even in bad times. And these people were going through horrible times. But yet, God wanted them to know that there's still hope. There's still, He's still with them. And that's applicable in Isaiah's time, but it's equally as applicable today. There's horrible things going on in this world, and sometimes we feel like there's no hope, but yet God is with us, and there is always hope because we know what happens in the end. If you look at verse 2, he tells Isaiah to cry out to her. So, he didn't tell Isaiah to go whisper to the people that everything's going to be okay. He said, cry out to them that her warfare is over and that her iniquity is pardoned. So, they were famous for idolatry in that time. And they paid double for all of their sins. But now God is telling them that there's hope ahead. And I think that's relevant for us today also. As black and as dark as the world can seem, there is still hope ahead, and God is still with us, and God still loves us, and He's still working in our lives, even though we may not be able to see it. And I think this is the number one job that we need to do, is we need to be spreading comfort. We need to be spreading God's love and His hope with all of those around us. God reconciled Israel, and she's no longer guilty. All of her sins are forgiven. Just like He died for all of our sins on that cross, and all of our sins were paid double for. And by double, it doesn't really mean times two, but if you were looking at like a sliding scale or a sheet of paper, and you have good times on one end and bad times on the other end, and then you fold that paper over, and then you go from good to bad and then back to good. And I think that's the message that God is trying to send us here. I hope you find this of some sort of blessing to you as it was to me. God bless you and have a good night.